motherfuckers, about tax brackets, okay? I want to teach you guys about something a little bit more important, okay? I want to teach you something about class privilege, okay? Because you have to remember, 50 Cent said, essentially, that he would endorse Trump because he wants to keep his money. I don't care if Trump doesn't like black people. Now, if you've listened to any of 50 Cent's music, which I have just by way of it being on the radio, there's a very interesting contradiction here, you know. The album was called Get Rich or Die Trying, but this is more like get rich and allow other people to die in a white supremacist state trying. Not much in the way of personal sacrifice. It's laid out pretty clear here. For all the 50 Cents, dancing around talking about how, came from the hood, whatever, represent the struggle of the streets. Now that he has made it, he is okay with white supremacy operating from the highest offices of our government as long as he gets to hold more money. And I know this should be surprising to some of you, but when it comes to class privilege, in the United States of America, we have a very, very, very specific relationship with wealth. And it's one which is unique. There's no other country on earth that has it quite like us. In the past, I've criticized class reductionists who've said that there's basically only class privilege and class disprivilege, and that everything else is a distraction. I think that's a very dumb idea. I'm an intersectionalist, you know? Even if you have a white and a black person at exactly the same socioeconomic status, the black person will have to experience trials, go through shit. The white person probably won't, on average, just by way of them being black. And there are a lot of other problems, you know? Even the most powerful women in the country are frequently mocked for their biology and for their competence, you know? Hillary Clinton is a terrible person. But how much of the criticism levied at Hillary Clinton was about her policy and her moral ineptitude? And how much of it was about how she's a disgusting, ugly bitch who couldn't even keep her husband busy, and she's ugly and dumb, and you get one period and then she's going to nuke Iran or some shit like that? It was almost entirely about Hillary Clinton's gender. Even the powerful people who are black, women, Jewish, trans, whatever, they still face unique challenges. Now, with that being said, there is one fact that I will defend to my dying breath, okay? Undeniable, okay? And it is this. Class trumps all other privileges in America. It's the overriding privilege. Because class is unique in that it can make up for other problems. It doesn't work that way elsewise. If you're poor, being white is like a maybe I'll get treated better by the cops kind of situation. If you're black, being a billionaire completely elevates you above the problems experienced by most people, black or white. Wealth can eliminate other types of biases against you, or at least suppress their consequences massively, you know? Again, this doesn't get rid of them completely. People were racist to Obama. Powerful people were racist to Obama. But he's still fucking Obama. You know? And I tell you, if we're talking about power in this society, who do you think has more? A white, straight, cisgendered, so on and so forth person living in a trailer park, or a black trans woman worth $1.3 billion? I think the answer is pretty self-evident, honestly. It's pretty obvious, really. And this is not to say, again, that these other identities, these other issues don't matter, because they certainly do. but it sure does fucking explain what happened to 50 Cent. Because 50 Cent does not think of himself, first and foremost, as a black man. He thinks of himself as a millionaire, like all other millionaires do. First and foremost comes class awareness, class consciousness. It is something the wealthy have, and the wealthy work very hard to keep the rest of us from having. The wealthy always work in their own interests. Always, always, always. There are nice billionaires. There are billionaires who donate. But hey, it turns out donating to charities can get you dropped to lower tax brackets. And hey, if you do the roundabout, isn't it kind of interesting how even after Bill Gates stepped away from his company, he continued making money? That's kind of weird, you know? Philanthropy does not seem to have depleted this man's coffers very much at all. It's interesting how that works. Class awareness amongst the wealthy is the strongest binding social force in this country. Nothing else even comes close. You think transbian catgirls on Twitter are tight-knit? You think fucking super poor black guys who grew up in the hood together are tight-knit? Fuck no. Billionaires who go to fundraisers together are tight fucking knit. These people share an unbreakable bond of mutual class interest, okay? That's the reason why Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump got along so goddamn well until the fucking election. These people see each other everywhere. Every event they go to, every funeral they go to, every fundraiser they go to, every charity they donate to, they see each other there. And they all know, even if they disagree on everything else, even if one of them's a racist and one of them's black, they shake hands at the end of the day. What was it Dianne Feinstein said about Amy Coney Barrett after they were done grilling her, you know? I am just so impressed by how well read and knowledgeable you are. And they gave a big old hug. What is it that he said? It's a big club and you're not in it. I think it's important to remember this about the celebrities that we like, about all the wealthy people we think represent our interests best. Yeah, George Carlin. Thank you. Yeah, that did come from him, didn't it? I think it's important to remember that at the end of the day, all of these motherfuckers who claim to care about this issue or that issue, at the end of the day, they're clutching their purses harder than they are anything else. Now, not all of them are terrible people, okay? There are wealthy people who are legitimately sympathetic to the interests of the proletariat. I'm not denying that. And 50 Cent's always been kind of a cunt, as I understand it. But this is a systemic issue. And if you can see behavior like this made manifest in people whose literal fucking identity was about inner city black culture and making it as a black man, and even these people can end up elevating above those ideas to one in which their sole and only concern is protecting their bank account. Yeah. It's pretty fucking bad. Anyway, apparently he also has a shitty video game. I think I played that game. Was it 50 Cent Blood in the Sand? And he gets, like, sent into the Middle East to, like, help us fight Al-Qaeda or something like that? Yeah, I remember that. I think I actually had that. Because I bought it out of curiosity or something like that. Yeah, it was like a soldier. Yeah. 50 Cent Bulletproof Blood in the Sand. Yeah, there were two of them. I think I only had Blood in the Sand. Yeah. Anyway, it was fucking terrible. It was a terrible game. Absolutely terrible. It was not good. But none of this really matters because 50 Cent has changed his mind. Now he says he never liked Trump and he's moved back on this position. And that's funny. Now, I have to ask you, I'm genuinely curious, okay? Over the past week or so that this has developed, what do you think happened? Do you think he had some sort of epiphany where he recognized that his class interests were getting in the way of his heart and he changed his mind? Or do you think he got backlash from his fans? Because a fuck ton of his fans are black guys and white guys who don't fucking hate black guys who thought, wow, that sure is a crazy fucking move away from your expected position on this issue. I am not in favor of this. I think the backlash got to him real goddamn hard. Did you read the article you shared on Twitter? Yeah, the article is about how his ex-girlfriend chewed him out. I'm going to be honest. Listen, I don't believe that. Tabloid newspapers are obsessed with narratives. That's not really the narrative I'm getting out of this. If I had to make a guess at it, I would say it was probably the overwhelming public backlash that probably would have motivated this a little bit more. But it's easier to say I had a heart-to-heart with my ex than it is I took a look at all my ex fans walking away. You know, just my personal opinion. But doesn't Bill Gates want to give basically all of his money away? And how's that been going? What's his net worth? Hold on. 110 billion. Wow, he's worth more than he ever has been, even though he doesn't fucking do anything anymore. He's worth like twice as much as when he retired. He can't, dude, he's like cursed or something. Like no matter how much money he throws away, more of it grows into his pockets or something. Yeah, I don't know. If he's trying to give all his money away, he's doing a terrible, terrible job. Okay? We are on track to getting rid of polio, though. Hey. Did I at any point say that it's bad to fight polio? Or did I say wealthy people have a superseding class interest that dictates their interests and behavior better than any other identity-oriented interest? Also, by the way, personal opinion, think it's real fucked up how my camera's shaky. What are you going to do? Think it's real fucked up how Bill Gates has essentially privatized like all aid to Africa. Does anyone else think that's weird? Come back here, you. The fuck you doing? Does anyone else think that's a little bit strange? He's basically like the main apparatus for providing aid to Africa these days, you know? And at this point, like, he's essentially privatized it, and he's still making money from it, and it's really, really weird. Yeah.